Hey folks, it is trucking and politics again. I took a little hiatus, about a month break from YouTube. I'm back, sort of. Hopefully, I'll be back with a reoccurring video for you. Um, I was trying to think of how to start this video out, and I think I found the way I want to start it out. There is an old song by Joe Walsh named Life Has Been Good to Me So Far. I believe that was the name of the song, or Life Has Been Good to Me. Life has been good to me so far. And he started the song out with all of the problems and issues that money and wealth and fame has caused him. Well, life has been good to me so far, and there is a correlation there, not because of money and fame for me, but because life has taught me several things. It has taught me you give what you receive, you defend yourself, you stand up for what is right and just, you don't back down, and you tell people that have egos and that are narcissistic people that they get up in the morning and they put their jeans on, or their slacks, or their shorts, or whatever they're wearing that day. They put them on the same way you do, because we're all human. We are all human. The exception to that in trucking is corporate mentalities and these companies that sign up for things like the ATA, the American Trucking Association, that wants to steamroll over independent contractors, owner operators, and claw their way to the top of the trucking game. Trucking has always been, as far back as I can remember, it has been a thing where it's a dog eat dog world. People will stab you in the back for 50 cents a mile. There's no unity. As I've said on this channel many times, it would be so much different if truck drivers united and helped each other. One big thing about truck drivers are, I think they're gluttons for punishment. They like the punishment. They like the mistreatment. It's almost like they have a mental disorder. There's a term for it. I can't remember right off of the top of my head, but whenever you are being belittled, you are a victim of emotional or physical abuse. You start siding with the person that is giving the abuse to you. I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. You can check me on that, but I think that's what it is. It come out of World War II, if I remember correctly, that people were being mistreated, beat down, They lost what is referred to as their pride. So they side with the person that is beating them down, right? So Stockholm syndrome. I believe that's correct. I'm not that person. Okay. I have been through mental abuse. I have been through physical abuse. I have been through emotional abuse in my life. There's been times that I thought I was with a friend, and that friend either abused me in either one of those ways, physically, mentally, or emotionally, to the point I didn't think I could breathe. I didn't think I was going to survive. And never once did I side with that person. Okay? I didn't validate the person that was abusing me. I fought back. I was tough. I came back swinging. A brief rehash. Since I've been gone so long from this channel, about a month now, I wanted to go back and rehash where I came from and how I became here to trucking, or to YouTube with trucking and politics. I started out in the year 2000. In 07, I'd had enough. I just had enough of the abuse, mistreatment. I had been told things like, one time in particular, I remember I was having to work a holiday, and it was sprung up on me right before the holiday kicked in. And I was told that I would be working that holiday. It didn't set well with me. And I told the person that was telling me that I was going to have to work, why didn't you give me time to tell my family what was going on? Why didn't you give me time to prepare for this? Are you going to be off? And he said, Of course I'll be off, but we've got loads to do and you need to help us. And I said, what if I don't agree? Well, tough. It's just the way it's going to be. You're going to have to work. And I said, well, what if I don't want to? What then? Well, I guess you can quit. Now, this was a long time ago, back in the old days of trucking, and they said, here's the situation. I picked my job, you picked yours. I still remember that all these years later. Now, I don't hold a grudge. I don't even remember what company I worked for, and I don't remember the guy's name that told me this. But it was just that conversation has stuck in my brain. And this is a big part of why I started this channel, because I don't really know what it is about truck drivers. Either they have the Stockholm syndrome where they validate their abuser. They're a glutton for punishment. They just like being beat down. Or they feel so weak and unsure of themselves that they just say, well, this is the best that I can do. This is the best I can do with this life. Or they just don't want to rock the boat. They're scared. I'm none of those things. I wish I would have had a camera with me today. I don't know if I'd have been allowed to use it in the area that I was in. But I stood toe to toe, sat in a chair across from a desk with the owner of this company that I chose to work with, and I unleashed on him. At the end of that conversation, I was demanding that he fire me. I was daring him, fire me. Do it. Fire me right now. I dare you to fire me. The owner of the company. Wasn't a manager, wasn't a dispatcher. It was the main man, the owner. And I unleashed on him. And he was coming right back at me. You're more than welcome to quit. You're more than welcome to leave. And I said, well, fire me then. Nope. You're going to walk out on your own. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to stand up for what's right, and I'm going to call you out for what you are. So, a little back history of what's going on here. About June of 2023, I had fallen down on hard times as being an owner operator. I had my own truck. It was the 5th truck that I have owned. I currently still have it. But times got hard. The economy got tough. Times got hard. It is a combination of our economy and of these corporate trucking companies that will do anything for a profit. The sky is the limit. It's scary times, folks. Scary times for the United States. Scary times for trucking. There's an old saying that the strong will survive. I don't know so much that it's the strong will survive as much as what they say, evil will be all that is on earth whenever the earth ends. I think we are getting to evil times in this world. What happened was when my truck went down in June, July, something like that of last year, 2023, I had to make a decision. I had to make a life choice. What was going to happen to me? And profits were down, fuel was up, Biden was in office. He's making a disaster out of this country. There seems to be a wind of change coming, and I didn't know what life had in store. If you've been part of this channel, you'll know that I have another house. I have 2 houses. One of them was a rental house. I want to do a video on that to show you what I went through, what my wife and I went through with that house, and the turbulence that we went through with renting that house out. That played a part in it. My truck being down, having mechanical issues, played a part in it. This economy. Overall, it was just a perfect storm, right? So I made a life choice to go back to company driving. I wanted to try to find something more stable, more home time, more structured. And I made a huge mistake. I went to work for a company in Arkansas that was none of this. It was absolutely none of this. In fact, it made matters worse for me. It dug a bigger hole for me to fall into, is what it did. And I just took all I could take, and I told you guys that were following this channel that I knew my time was coming up for that company, and I knew that it was coming near. What I did not tell you was I had already started shopping around for another job. Now, here is the confusion part of it. There was multiple trucking companies out here that I could go to work for. Multiple ones. 24-year veteran truck driver. I have a clean record, no tickets on my record. I knew that I was going to be easily hired by a trucking company as a company driver. So I felt like I could cherry pick where I went to work at. And I started calling and asking questions and all. I had already started doing this channel for a while then, and I wanted to put something to the test as I was looking for another job. I was thinking of what I was saying on Trucking and Politics here, and I found this company that fit all the criteria that I was looking for. Good pay, good benefits, a long established company with good company freight, portrayed themselves very well. I checked their Google reviews. They had very good Google reviews. Went to their website, saw on there what was going on. I called a recruiter there. Actually, it wasn't a recruiter, it's safety, person in safety that acted as a recruiter. Talked to him, talked to a couple of my friends about it, and they said it seems like it's a good established company, but I don't think you're going to like it because I think it's what you don't like. And I thought, what is it that I don't like? This corporate ran type of company. And down at the very bottom of their webpage, it says that they are a member of the Tennessee Trucking Association. This company is based out of Memphis, Tennessee. So, I wanted to put my money where my mouth was. I wanted to do you guys a favor through me, thinking that this was a good established, good company to go to work for. I thought, you know what? Maybe Trucking and Politics is wrong. Maybe David that runs Trucking and Politics is wrong. Maybe this is a good company. And maybe they're part of the Tennessee Trucking Association. And maybe they really treat their drivers well. And maybe they are a good stand-up company to go to work for. And on top of that, they promoted themselves as a Christian-based company. So I said, hey, I've been wrong before. Wouldn't it be funny if I ran this channel about everything being wrong about corporate companies and, you know, the ATA and the Tennessee Trucking Association, the Arkansas Trucking Association, all these state associations? Wouldn't it be funny if it was wrong? I was prepared to come on here wearing egg on my face and tell all of you that are my viewers, I was wrong. and trucking in politics was wrong. I'm here to tell you trucking in politics and this guy was right. These companies do not care. They will lie. They will misrepresent themselves. They will excuse themselves. They will portray themselves as a good quality company that employees love to work for. And I don't think that's it at all. I think it is, like I have been saying on this channel, truck drivers have this Stockholm syndrome. They're a glutton for punishment. They like to be mistreated, and they don't like to speak out against their employers. And on top of that, the employers like to mistreat their drivers. And if you try to come up against them, if you try to push them down, that's where the teeth and claws come out. Because you are to promote us. You are to be here for us. You are to be a good little person that is driving our truck. No, we were right. I'm going to do a review on this company. Maybe not the next video or the video after that, but I am going to do a review on this company to show you what I'm talking about here at Trucking and Politics. These companies hate truck drivers. And I wonder a lot of times if truck drivers hate themselves. It's mind-boggling to me. I've always tried to better myself. I've always tried to be a person that wants to treat others as I would want to be treated. I would want to be fair to someone, honest with someone, just tell the truth. You know, the truth will set you free. And just today I found out that my check was going to be garnished by this company because of their junk equipment. And it's not the fact that I broke their junk equipment. That was part of it. They accused me of doing it, which I didn't. But where I failed in their mind is I did not report damage to their junk trailer. So therefore, somebody has to be held accountable, because it can't be the company's fault. It's got to be the driver's fault, right? So it got kicked back to me. One of the drivers that work here took pictures of a damaged trailer and said, "Hey, I'm picking this trailer up. It's damaged. I didn't do it, so somebody did." And it was found out that I was the last person to pull this trailer before the driver reported it. So therefore, I was in the wrong because I was hiding something from the company. Their trailer was junk. It was probably broken before I got into it, but therefore I didn't tell them that their junk trailer was junk. It was a trailer tail. It wasn't really a mechanical issue with the trailer. These trailer tails that are on the back that fold out, that supposedly these big corporate companies get so much good fuel economy out of their trucks by using these cockamamie devices. They're all broke. Every one of them on every trailer they have is broke. But this is the way these companies are. Someone has to be to blame. Someone has to be the blame. and it ended up on me. So I made the decision from now on, every trailer that I drop, when I drop it, I'm going to go around with a camera and click, 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 make pictures of everything. And that brought into my mind, hey, you've been off of trucking and politics and off of your videos for a while too. Let's integrate them. Come along with me, and I will show you just how bad these corporate companies are in their mentality. When I say on this channel, these companies suck, it's because they suck. They don't care about you. You are a truck number. They don't even want to recognize you because it's their truck. And they're like, oh, so-and-so, that drives this truck over here. It's the way they talk to you. That's the way they talk about you. That was even said during this meeting that I had with the owner of this company today. Oh, it's driver of truck so-and-so. And I was like, dude, I have a name. I live and I breathe and I have a soul just like you do. But they don't recognize it that way. They don't see you as human. They see you as subhuman. This is scary times that we're living in, folks. And it's getting worse. It is time that we stick together, we help each other out, and we expose these companies for what they are. Folks, we can't keep going like this. We cannot keep trucking going the way it is. It has to go back to the way that it used to be, to where we are human again. Just because we are a truck driver, we're not subhuman. We are living flesh and blood human beings with a soul and a mind and a mentality. That's why I wanted to create this channel. That's why I wanted to come with you. And when I found this company, like I said, I was wanting, stability, and I was wanting a company that was good. But it's good for them. It's not good for me. One of the very first things I found out in orientation, all paid time off is ended with this company. I did a video about Martin Transportation ending their paid time off for their truck drivers right before Christmas last year. Remember that video? This trucking company did the same thing, and I didn't find out about it until I was already hired in and doing orientation. Folks, it's the same thing. These companies absolutely don't care about you. The good thing about it is I've been keeping tabs of this while I've been off and not doing videos. I've been keeping tabs of this. JB Hunt's down. Warner is down. Night Swift is down. All of these trucking companies are turning in horrible, horrible profits. And you say, oh, that's such a bad thing. No, that's a good thing. They need to shut down. They need to be gone. All of these big mega carrier corporate trucking companies need to be gone. It needs to go back to the old ways of trucking, to where independents, owner-operators, and small companies ruled this industry. That's what it needs to go back to. I am going to show you in the next few videos just how bad this company is. I am going to do a review of this company, and I'm going to be honest. and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to try to mislead you. I'm not going to try to misrepresent this company. I'm going to show you what narcissists and egotistical people are that run these companies. I met the owner of this company today. I was in the office going toe to toe, nail to nail, tooth to tooth, arguing for truck drivers, including myself, and telling him how bad of a trucking company he was, how bad of a trucking company he was running. And you could see the anger and the rage wanting to come out of him, because that's what they are. They are full of anger. They are full of rage. They are full of hate, resentment, because you are beneath them. Folks, quit doing this to yourself. Quit feeling like you're subhuman because you drive a truck. I begged the guy today, fire me. Fire me. I was screaming at him, fire me. And he said, you will walk out of here on your own if you want to end this job. And I said, fire me. He wouldn't do it. So, let's give him a reason to fire me. Let's expose the truth of this company. And it's not just him, and it's not just one company. All of these companies out here, these corporate mega companies. And the thing is, this company here is not that big. It's not that mega of a company. They've only got like 70 drivers. But he admitted to me today that his company had lost $1 million. He has 9 or 10 trucks parked out on the ready row, ready to be filled, ready to have drivers put in them. And either he can't find quality drivers to get put in those trucks, or people's just not applying for his job. So I think we should expose this for what it is. I really do. I think we should ride along with me. I'll show you my dispatch. I'll show you how these companies micromanage and treat you like you're just a robot, because that's what they want, is a robot. They don't want a living, breathing human being sitting in this truck. They want a robot where they type on their computer and go, this truck goes here, be here at this time, unload at this time, be here at this time to pick up, unload here at this time, do what we say to do, how we say to do it. You don't deserve benefits. You don't deserve time off. You don't deserve anything, because you are the reason that we are falling down. How am I to blame for what is going on with this trucking company? I come in here with good intentions, an open mind, thinking, I need a job. I need to work for someone stable. It seems like a good company. I didn't have any total disregard for this company. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. And they have just slammed me down and slammed me down and slammed me down. And as far as pay goes, it is some of the worst pay that I have ever gotten in 24 years of truck driving. It is absolutely sad. This is scary times that we are dealing with, folks. And it's because I think the death of the corporate mentality trucking company is very near. I really strongly believe that. I've heard Western Express is laying off like crazy. Prime Incorporated out of Springfield, Missouri is laying off like crazy. JB Hunt is laying off like crazy. Walmart is laying off like crazy. These corporate mentality companies, these corporate entity companies, their backs are against the ropes and they're coming out swinging. Folks, it's time for us to stand up and unite and show the truth. Put the truth out in the light, in the spotlight for everyone to see. That's what Trucking and Politics is about, and that's what I'm going to bring you. Trucking and Politics is back. Let's go. Let's get some videos made, and let's expose these people for what they are. Don't do what I did. I did this to expose these people, thinking I was going to better myself. But all I did was made a worse situation for myself. I'm going to bring it to you so you don't do the same thing I did. Raise your head up. Don't look down at the ground. Hold your chin up. The best is yet to come. Let's unite and make this a better trucking company, a better trucking industry. Thanks for watching, folks.